All right, so this video is the second video for Chapter 4 of Fundamentals of English Grammar. It's been divided up into 3 chapters. For those of you in ESL 41, you only need to focus on sections 2 and 3. Feel free to go ahead and take a look at the video for section 1 if you need review on that. In this section, what we'll be focusing on is the use of the present perfect. How is it used? The second thing is how is the present perfect different than the simple past? And then the third thing is introducing the present perfect progressive and talking about how it's different from the present progressive. Okay, so here let's just read a couple of examples of the use of the present perfect. So we have Tyler has taken his first steps and Zoe hasn't walked by herself yet. So here's a couple more examples. Micah has just gotten his first job. Leah has recently visited Singapore. So these are, when we're using the present perfect, the meaning of the present perfect is an event that has happened before now. So that's a similarity that it has with the simple past, is that using the present perfect means that it's something that has happened that started in the past. The important thing about it is that it is at an unspecified time. So here when we say Micah has just gotten his first job, we don't know exactly when he got his first job. We know that it happened recently, but not when. Leah has recently visited Singapore. We know it's recent, but we don't know exactly when. So it's something that happened in the past, but it's unspecified. So if we take a look at this here, here's our chart. We have now, and the present perfect is talking about something that happened before now, but we don't know exactly when it happened. So here we say Mary has painted portraits many times. Her students have painted portraits twice. The other time that we will use the present perfect is for an activity that was repeated many times in the past. But again, we don't know exactly when. So Mary has painted portraits many times. Do we know the exact times when she did it? No. Her parents have painted portraits twice. Again, we don't know when. All we know is that it was before now. So again, if we look at this graph, we're saying that this is happening many times before now, but we don't know exactly when these things happened. All right, so the present perfect is often used with this word already, and people do have difficulty with the use of this word already. So already means that something has finished before this moment, meaning that it has happened already and it happened in the past already. So in this one, Tyler has already taken his steps, and Tyler has taken his steps already. You'll notice that there's 2 ways that we can put this. We can put the already after what we're going to call the helping verb has, or we can put it at the very end of the sentence. What we can't do, or what is generally not appropriate, is to say Tyler already has taken his first steps. You may hear that, but it's not as common a formation. The important thing about already is that already is used in affirmative statements. And so what we mean when we say the word affirmative statements is we mean that there is no in the sentence. There's no negative in the sentence. So affirmative means it's opposite of negative. In contrast, we have yet. Now yet is basically the same meaning. Already means that something happened before now, that it was completed before now. Yet means that up until this time, something has not happened. So it's sort of the opposite already. So Zoe hasn't walked by herself yet. So yet is used in negative sentences. So we see here with the difference between already and yet. Actually, let's talk about how these ones are both used together in a question. So we can use, we said we use already with affirmatives and we use yet with negatives. We can use both of them together in questions. Their location in the question is different though. As we saw already with already, there's two locations that we can put already. We can put already before the main verb, or we can put it at the end of the sentence. So the same thing is true with the question. So has she already seen the movie, or has she seen the movie already? However, what we saw with yet is that the only location we put yet was at the end of the sentence. We didn't put it before the main verb. So has she seen the movie yet? Now, I'm not totally sure about this, but I think that in British English you might be able to say, has she yet seen the movie? But in American English, that's not common. So we're in America, so let's stick with the American sentence structure. All right, so let's take a look at these. In your mind, go ahead and complete this one. We want to use the present perfect form of already, of take. And insert already. So we can say Kyung has already taken the test. Here, what we're doing is with since or for. And if you're not sure about the usage of since or for, you can review back the previous video. So this one would be, I've been studying since 8 a.m. Okay, so here, this is using it with for many times. So it's going to be Rosa has been to Italy 3 times. All right, so now I'm skipping ahead in the order of the questions I have, but let's talk about how the simple past and the present perfect are different. So the thing that we said that was similar already about both of these is that both of these talk about an event that started in the past. Okay, so I had an angelfish when I was a child. So having the fish, this started in the past. When I was a child, this is also in the past. Now, one of the things that we said about all of the simple tenses, so the simple present and the simple past, was that this means that something, we're talking about the whole of it, meaning we're talking about both the beginning and the end. So when I say I had an angelfish, I'm talking about when I got it and also when it died. So it's already completed. So if I say I had an angelfish, it means I don't have it anymore. When I was a child, again, we're talking about the beginning and the end. So if I say when I was a child, I'm no longer a child. But here we see I have had many other fish since then, and we're talking about the present perfect. So let's go ahead and take a look at how these ones are different. So here with the simple past, they completed the game at 4 p.m. And here we see they have already completed the game. Now, the difference between these is that the simple past is used with a specific time, right? But the present perfect is used with an unspecified time. So this is one difference between them. One of the things to keep in mind, though, is that the simple past has a lot more flexibility than the present perfect. For example, the simple past can be used with specific times, and it can also be used with unspecific times. So for example, I can say they completed the game at 4 o'clock, and I can also say they completed the game. Both of them are correct. However, the present perfect I can't use with both of them. So I can say they have already completed the game, but I cannot say they have completed the game at 4 p.m. at 4 o'clock. Okay, so the simple past has more flexibility than the present perfect. So here I say I was in Nigeria when I was 5 years old, and I have been to Nigeria 3 times. So here we have a specific time, when I was 5 years old, and then we have an unspecified time. Okay, so the specific time has to be the simple past. The unspecified time is the present perfect. Again, this is a situation where the simple past can be used in both situations. I can say I went to I went to Nigeria 3 times, or I was in Nigeria 3 times. That's fine. But what I can't say is I have been in Nigeria when I was 5 years old. There's a limitation on the present perfect that doesn't exist for the simple past. The simple past can be used in both, but the present perfect can only be used with the unspecified time. So here we say Jack camped in France for 5 days, and Eli has been camping for 9 days. Sorry, 9 days in both of these. Or Eli has been camping since last Monday. All right. So the difference here is that when we talk about the simple past, we're saying, remember, the simple tenses are talking about the whole of them. So we're talking about something that has begun and has also ended. Okay. But when we're using the present progressive, the present perfect, we're talking about we're focusing on the beginning of it. We're not necessarily focusing on the end of it. We don't know if it has ended. So the difference between these two sentences is Jack camped in France for 9 days means that he's no longer there. But Eli has been camping since last Monday means that he is continuing to camp. The other difference is that with the simple past, we can only use for. But with the present perfect, we can use both for and since. So let's look at these ones. We have been to Tokyo many times. Is this specified or unspecified? Meaning, do we know the exact dates that we were in Tokyo or not? Okay, this is unspecified. Okay, remember again, we can always use the simple past with unspecified times. Okay. Barry has never been to Tokyo. Is this specified or unspecified? It's a little bit tricky, right? This is unspecified, even though never means always. We're not giving a specific time. Gina went to Tokyo last month. Do we know when this happened? We do know. We do know last month, even if we don't know the specific day. Because we have last month, we're going to say that that is specified. All right, so moving on over to the present perfect progressive. All right, so we said that the present perfect can be used for unspecified times or for many times, something that has happened many times. Okay, so let's take a look at these ones. We have Dee has been working since 6 o'clock, and she has been working for 10 hours. So the formation of the present perfect progressive uses has or have, plus the past participle been, plus the ing form of the main verb. When we're making a question, we have how long has she been working? And the question form, we would have if there was a question word, pardon me, the have or has plus the subject plus been plus ing. Okay, so we have here Mary is playing the piano right now. Now this is the present progressive. The present progressive it means something that is in progress right now. The duration is not mentioned, meaning we don't know how long she has been playing. We don't know when she started playing. The point is that it began sometime before and is continuing right at the present. Now the difference is when we're talking about right now, we can't use the present perfect progressive. Because remember, the perfect progressive, the focus is not on the right now, but is talking about something having started in the past. So Mary has been playing the piano right now is not correct. However, we can say Mary has been playing since noon. Okay, or Mary has been playing for an hour. In this case, our focus is on this is something that began in the past, is in progress right now, but we're talking about the duration or how long something has happened. So we can't use the present progressive in this case. So Mary is playing the piano since noon, because is playing, the present progressive, is really focusing on something that is in progress right now, but not on the duration. It doesn't tell us how long something has happened. All right, so here we can say it belongs to Amy, but it is belonging to Amy is not correct. If you remember, the reason for this is because belong is a non-action verb, and we can never use non-action verbs in the progressive tense, whether it be the present progressive, the past progressive, or now the present perfect progressive. So we can say she has owned it for a month, okay? But we can't say she has been owning it for a month. Again, own in this case is a non-action verb, and we can never use non-action verbs in the progressive tense. Okay, so that's something that is always going to be true. So here's the question: do we use the present perfect or the present perfect progressive? So we look at her right now. What is she doing? She's using the phone. Okay, we're focusing on the right now rather than the duration. Okay, but she has been using it for 3 hours. I need to make a call. We're focusing on the duration, not the right now. What about this? If we look at this picture, are we talking about right now or the duration? We're talking about right now. Her parents are dancing. Okay, they blank together for over 30 years. Okay, we're talking about the duration. So it should be have been dancing for over 30 years. Okay. What about this? Where are you for summer holidays? Okay. Now in this case, are we talking about the present or the future? Are we talking about a plan or are we talking about the duration? In this case, we're talking about a plan. So where are you going for the summer holidays? In this case, I'm blank to the beach. So are we talking about a plan or duration? In this case, it's a plan. I'm going to the beach. And then here, what we're talking about is duration. Since I was a child. I have been going to the beach every summer since I was a child.